You guys, I can't believe that we're at a point now where we're going to talk about objects and things that were totally normal in the past, accessible to many, many people, standard, are considered luxury today. Yeah. And you're going to be surprised. There's a lot more objects and concepts, products that today are deemed high-end luxury, but just a couple of years ago or a couple of decades ago were deemed standard, obtainable to most. Let's get to this shocking revelation video right after you subscribe to my channel here on the tubes. You can push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today and gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon. superdacob all spelled together there as well for extra perks. I want to say thank you to my members and patrons who have already pledged. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. You're welcome to join every Saturday and midweek. Hi, my co-chatters in the chats. Oh, Tyler says, I can definitely think of a few things. Well, listen. So basically, it's a compilation of different ideas and examples that people have made, compiled from Reddit, from TikTok, from Instagram, BuzzFeed article. So times have changed, says BuzzFeed in an article. People are sharing things that were normal in the 90s and the 2000s, but are now considered a luxury. Household products that don't break within the first few years of use. My mom's wedding cookware is still going strong 25 years later, but whenever she needs new pans, they start flaking Teflon into the food within a few months. Says somebody on TikTok or somewhere. Well, let's get to it. First point, new furniture made out of real wood. This is an interesting point because new furniture made out of real wood. I want to say we are so used to kind of these pressed woods glued together. IKEA, I see ya, little imperfect rhyme. And if you're going to get furniture made out of real wood, they're going to charge you a leg and a kidney for it nowadays. But in the 90s, real wood furniture was kind of standard. Now just crap is being sold. Another point is, and think about this one. This is a conceptual one, but it is so true, you guys. Number 2, owning the software you purchased. This one's mind-blowing. Think about it. We used to, in the past, buy software like Photoshop, Adobe, Premiere, whatever, and you own it. Like, it's yours. Now they don't do that anymore. Now you have to pay a subscription. Now it's a monthly subscription. Now you can't just pay once and you have it. You have to keep paying monthly. It's become a luxury. It's a subscription now. It used to be you pay once your software. It's yours. You use it until, 10 updates later when they release a brand new one, and then you buy that. But yeah, it's literally went that far. Point 3, paying no more than 30% of your income in rent. Let that sink in. Huh? Now, most people are paying 90% of their income for rent, especially New York and LA. It's like, could you imagine a time when you would spend up to 30% or less of your income in rent, and the rest is all extra money? I mean, you pay your insurance, your health insurance if you have it, and then you live. Almost everything people earn today goes into rent alone. Long gone are the days of saying, oh yeah, 30% of the rent, 30% of the salary rent, and the rest is fun money. Number 4. This is a very conceptual one, you guys, but it's also luxury. Think about it. Listen to me. Number 4, not being expected to be reachable 24/7. Before internet, before smartphones, you were not reachable 24/7. Your bosses could not reach you 24/7. There was a period where you detach from work, you detach from friends, from anybody, and you're at home alone. You go shopping, grocery shopping. There's no phone. There's no phone. Tyler says in the chat, me casually paying $1,700 a month for a room with a shared bathroom in Los Angeles. City life sure is grim. Dihike says, true, so true. Leslie says, LOL, good gracious, ain't that the truth? Michael G says, I think this is considered old money now. Shelby says, I just gave them my liver for a couch. I felt it was a great deal. Now I have to wait for it to grow. The couch is the tree you planted. Yeah, I get it. I see what you did there. Very good observation, says Ellen, right? And number 5, maybe a little bit more of a futile thing, but listen, number 5, the prices for concert tickets. You know what? There was a time where you would pay $10, $20, $30 for great seats at concert tickets, right? Now it's like Beyonce goes on tour, Madonna goes on to Madonna. Remember when she did her Madame X tour? She's like, I wanted to make it more intimate, like in theaters, so less people can be closer to me. Yeah, you wanted to be closer to Madonna? Several $1,000s you had to pay. Inner circle. Beyonce with her Beehive B, Beehive A, Beehive circle this, circle that. It's a lot of money. $30 for a good concert ticket? Where? Nowadays, it's hundreds and mostly into the thousands. I remember last time I wanted, this was 2017. In 2017, I wanted to go see, were they at the Super, where were they? I wanted to see, who did I want to see? Tickets were over $1,000. I forgot the name of the band now. What's it called? The Witch Lady. Oh gosh, ticket prices are crazy, and they blame it on the production always. Fleetwood Mac. Okay, Fleetwood Mac, 2017. It was a stadium concert in LA. They were charging $1,000. Like that was like average price. 2017. Tyler says, just dropped $3,000 a few months back for Madonna tickets. There you go. Tyler, $3,000 to watch a 2-hour show. Madonna. Let's hope she doesn't do it in a wheelchair, because, I mean, she might break a hip after the first performance. So wishing her all the best. Shout out to her extensive family. Point 6, single income families buying a home. Yeah, you know, single income families being able to afford a home. Now, you can't afford a home to save your life. Need I say more? And this is not just for the States, this is worldwide. 7.7, good quality fabric and clothing. Somebody posted, I have clothes from the 90s and 80s from my mother that still hold up today. These days, I'm lucky if my shirt isn't saggy and misshapen within a year. Within a year, try within 1 wash to 3 washes. Let me tell you. Melanie Rice says, I remember paying $20 for a Depeche Mode concert in 1990. Tyler says, that's why I say support your indie artists. I paid only $16 for a Club Eat show. They performed at a Celine after party recently and was front row on Valentine's Day in New York City. Yeah. Anyway. Rasha Kishki says, everything is going down. I actually have FOMO for vintage clothes because they're all going to be gone one day. Yeah, because we're all going to keep buying used and rebuying. And then, after a certain while, they will fall apart eventually. And then we got nothing vintage left. That is also true. Point eight. Being able to afford going out every Friday after work. So many people, first of all, in order to pay rent and pay off their student loan debt, they need 2 to 3 jobs to be able to just, keep it going. Survival mode, not to live, just to survive. So imagine coming at the end of the week exhausted. First of all, you don't have the energy to go out on a Friday, let alone the money to spend to go out drinking, to the movies, partying, eating out, and all that good stuff. That was normal back in the day. It's the weekend. You're free. You enjoy yourself. You consume. Point 9. Items not requiring a subscription each month. Now, this doesn't only apply to the software we were talking about before, but it also applies, Netflix, Disney, HBO, anything really. Even certain televisions, in order for them to function, you need to pay a monthly fee, a subscription fee. Cars nowadays, you're leasing a car. You don't own a car, like you're literally constantly paying. Your phone, your smartphone, everything is on a monthly basis. Everything is a subscription. Everything is locking you in to turn you into, an addict of that product, and to turn you into a slave of that product, to not let you leave your contract and your commitment to that subscription. With cars nowadays, I just saw this the other day on YouTube. Somebody posted a video about how the car industry is now trying to figure out how to make even more money off of you. So you buy a car, but you have to buy a subscription with that car company to have monthly heating in your car. Let that sink in. That's going to become the norm soon. So you buy a car, you're driving it in winter, you're going to have to pay a subscription to make the heating work in the car. Can we? So, let's let that sink in. And they're already working on it, and they're like super proud. These car companies are like, yeah, this is going to be a great thing. Like, wow, seriously? There you go. Yeah, Shelby's like, yeah, I heard about the car thing. Insane. Point 10. Okay, point 10. Household products that don't break within the first few years of use. And then somebody then states their example. My grandma had the same fridge from 1993 before deciding to switch to a newer, bigger one 2 years ago. My mom's wedding cookware is still going strong 25 years later. But whenever she needs new pans, they start flaking Teflon into the food within a few months. This is very true. Kitchen appliances in general, everything is so plasticky and flimsy and cheap, and it falls apart easily. If you want good quality stuff today, for kitchen, you need to spend thousands of dollars. And I mean thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. And I have a super old fridge that is still working spick and span perfect. Just saying. Now, point 11. And this is a really, really interesting one. And I know most of you guys have been through this hell as well. Another rhyme. Legroom on an aeroplane. It's like with every year, they keep shrinking the distance between the seats so that they can jam and cram more people inside of the aircraft. Last time I flew with Ryanair, will never do that again in my life. I literally, first of all, the seat was paper thin and hard as a rock, so I was like bouncing and it was like killing my back. Second of all, the seat in front of me was like in my face like this. So I was like this. I was like cramped with my knees. I was like this the whole time. And I was like, how can they make this tighter? They'll just squish you and you'll be dead. I mean, legroom on an airplane. I think that there should be legislature to block this, because this is criminal. Also because it's very dangerous for your circulation, for your blood. You know, because if you can't stretch properly and you're bending your knees the whole time, like you might get, issues with blood clots and stuff. Number 12, family vacations. People remember going on road trips regularly as kids and even flying once or twice. Somebody says, now that I have kids, I cannot afford a week-long trip to the Badlands, Grand Canyon, Disney, Universal Studios, etc. The best I can do is a day trip to the Wisconsin Dells, maybe once a year. The entertainment industry in general has become really expensive. Traveling has become really expensive. Look at Disneyland. Are you freaking kidding me? The prices are insane. And yet at the same time, the parks are always full. And then even if you pay this exorbitant amount of money, you're still going to spend hours upon hours upon hours standing in queue just to do one ride. The world has gone nuts. Disneyland prices are crazy, says VLTN. Right? Basic Bag Lady says, if there were a crash with the airplane with the tight seats, you'd crack your head. Well, yeah. Anyway. But Disney also hit their peak, their block. They just closed that hotel that's traveling into space hotel. That didn't work for them. The Star Wars hotel, what was it called? They announced it's shutting down. Yeah, because they were charging $6,000 for a weekend. So anyway, point 13, free driver's education classes taught in all high schools. Yeah, we said goodbye to that a long time ago. There's no more free driver's education classes taught in high school. You gotta pay every step of the way, honey. Out of pocket. Out of pocket. I know, Joyful Remorse. Yeah, the Star Wars hotel was so expensive and had a minimum stay. All the subscriptions for series, Hulu, wow, Netflix. Exactly, Rosha. So, point 14, apartments. Somebody said, I could get a one-bedroom apartment in Wisconsin back in 1997 for under $500. Now that same apartment is at least $2,000. This is for renting, not purchasing, obviously. Oh, at point 15 is very good for people who fly. Meals on domestic flights. Even if you were in economy back in the day, the food was included in the price. Even if you're flying economy, first of all, back in the day when you were flying, people would dress up to fly. It was still considered a beautiful experience to fly. People were, bougie. You would dress up, it would be cool. And yes, the food was included while you were flying. Now everybody looks like they just came out of an asylum and they're just stuffed into the plane, trying to hide as much stuff as possible in their pockets so they don't get overweight with their carry-on luggage. And then for everything on the plane, including water, even though up there in the sky, you're very, very dehydrated because, you know, all the humidity levels go really low. Technically, I believe the air companies should be, you know, forced to offer you free water because it's very dangerous to dehydrate up there. No, they charge you for water. Yeah. Glass of water, you got to pay for it. D. Higginbotham says, we are getting to the point that we will only work and then die. We will not be able to afford anything else. Yes. Welcome to capitalism, modern day slavery. Enjoy. 16. Affordable health care. Need we say more about that tragedy? Point 17. People making friends with one another purely because they enjoy their companionship and not because of networking. This one also, you got to thank capitalism for this one. Yeah, you're just hanging out with somebody for the sake of networking and growing your, you know, while you're climbing your social ladder. Nettie says, that is the one I miss. Yeah, people just hanging out for the sake of hanging out together. At least we got that community here with us. Thankfully, at least this one for us does not apply at this point. We're still in the old school version of ourselves here. Victoria says, I'm hoarding quality items now because I have a feeling even non-brand name goods will become unaffordable. Oh yeah, I think so too. Fancy Pants, Grace Jones quote, slave to the rhythm. Love that song. 18.18, drinking water from the tap without filters and softeners. Well, to that one, I want to say just back then we had less tests done for the quality of the water. So a lot of people did get really bad health issues from drinking tap water, but people still did drink tap water without using all the filters. It was not recommendable back then. And anyway, this point I'm a little bit iffy on, you know. But water should be free for everyone. That, I don't think there's any debate amongst us. Corporations like Nestle would beg to differ. They would say, no, we want to charge you for water. But we the people, believe otherwise. Anyway. So, number 19. Clothing and shoes that last more than a year with regular wear. I'm looking at you, Chanel. Looking at you. $5,000 bag that started peeling 20 minutes after wearing it. $2,000 shoes that lose a heel after a couple of days of wearing them. I'm looking at you, Rick Owens. $1,000 shoe that completely fell apart after 6 times wearing it. The shame. Number 20, being able to dance and have a good time without having the risk that it will end up being recorded and put on social media. This is a really good point. Everything is recorded now. We've become completely desensitized to it at this point. We don't even care at this point. It's just like whatever. It is what it is. Everybody's just like filming everybody. Everybody's like, the second something is going on the street, okay. Yeah, okay, let me film it. Let me post this to TikTok. I might be a viral sensation because I saw Karen attacking somebody on a bicycle. Just insane. Just insane. And those were the 20 points that were considered normal back in the day. Just like in the 90s, 2000s even. And that are not considered standard anymore today. Today they're considered luxury. And some of these listed things are not even available nowadays anymore at all. No matter what the cost. So in the comments section underneath that article, it's so funny how people are talking about it and say, so as somebody said, these are so depressing and so true. And then somebody says, the rent one hurts. A ridiculous amount of my income just goes to keep my little apartment. Somebody says, the other shitty thing about a one-bedroom apartment is that it's assumed you're living with a partner, so two people are splitting rent. A bitch just wants to live alone and wants to afford it. I feel like face and hair standards have gone way up. Like in the 90s, everyone was basically still wearing their natural hair texture and had their original colored teeth. Now, either of those things tends to leave a person looking unfinished. LOL. A hobby being just a hobby and not being expected to be a side hustle moneymaker. I caught my husband in this. I started macrame, and he said that if I get really good, I can start selling them. No, honey, I just want to knot and give them out as gifts. Not everything has to be about making money. And so on and so on. So we the people, we want the good old times back. But isn't it funny how we the people do not have a voice? It's the corporations that decide for us. And we can't change anything, apparently. We're completely subject to whatever they want and however they want things to go, as long as they keep earning more money. That's the capitalist system. Now, before you come for me and say, what are you, a commie? No, I'm not. I also think that that's a very flawed system. We need a new system. And I've been saying this in other videos, but Vivienne Westwood, before she passed away, she was working on a whole new system of economy, and she called it no man's land. It's a complex system that she was working on, but the basic essence of it is that nobody is allowed to own land. Land belongs to everyone. Right? And if you're using land for whatever purpose, you pay a tax on the land you're using. That tax goes into bettering the life of others. This is just one simple element of her system that she was developing before she passed away. And it's a great idea. Look more into it. Vivienne Westwood's No Man's Land. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And until next time, never forget to never give up on love and subscribe. Bye.